Hey guys, welcome back to another War Thunder replay from me. This time we're doing ground realistic battles, and I'm playing with just my wife. So her and I are going to take out some Russian ground forces. I believe we're doing 3.7 here, around there. So this is earlier two tanks, 3.7s, probably pre-World War II, sometime between World War I and II. So we're on the fortress map, and this is this game mode is each of us have a capture point. If you capture the enemy's point, you basically win the game immediately. It takes a long time to do, and as you can see, it's also right between their spawn points. So this one actually comes down a lot to attrition, where no one will really make a move towards the caps until the later part of the game when most of the other tanks are dead. So Meg and I are moving up with teammates here. Just using these walls for cover, trying to spot some tanks. Meg is in a scout tank, so she's attempting to tag enemy targets so that the rest of the team can see exactly where they're at and get a couple kills as well, if she can. So we're just taking a look here. I don't want to move too quick. There's clearly a battleground in front of us happening. The bunkers up there, about a quarter of a mile, are notorious for turning the corner and dying. So I really want to make sure we know exactly what's going on up there before we push in. As you can see on the map, on the replay here, you can see the tags of the people that we're playing against. However, I can't see these in the game. This is just part of the replay. So I get no target markers. You have to manually spot and shoot these enemies. So just taking a look here, I use the binoculars a lot. With the binoculars, they're kind of a unique view. Instead of going through the gun sight, the commander effectively pops out of the turret and uses his binoculars. This gives you a unique viewpoint that's a little higher than you normally would. You could see over some cover while keeping your tank protected and see where enemies are at. So we're pushing up into those bunkers I was talking about earlier. You can see a Stug just turned the corner. I don't know if he doesn't see me or just hasn't lined himself up yet. My first shot hits his transmission. Since that's a tank destroyer, it doesn't have a turret, and it can only move its gun when it can move the tank itself. My second shot hits its gun, effectively taking it out of commission for right now. I'm just looking for flat spots to hit to kill the crew inside. You can see that one hits, I believe that's the loader. Next shot, I was a little low, hit the corner right at the weld, and the shot deflected. So I aim a little higher this time for that same flat spot, and that punches through and kills the tank destroyer. That's kill number one. After fighting with him, I pop out. You see enemy aircraft have just dropped bombs. There are enemy aircraft in this mode in ground realistic. They take a lot of points to spawn in, so they're very valuable, and killing them is worth a lot. So you can really cost the enemy team a lot of points if you could stop their air. More bombs come in. Not on me, thankfully, so we're good. Pushing forward here, trying to assist teammates, but also keep a look around us to make sure nothing's slipping onto the flanks. I have a little issue here with this hill, and my tank gets stuck. I can't figure out why it's stuck exactly, so I finally just reverse, turn the tank. Just assume that's a weird spot on the map. Come up to these, I assume they're Dragon's Teeth cement blocks for tanks like this are usually called Dragon's Teeth. They come in several different forms. Sometimes they're just basically metal jacks. If you remember, like the old jacks game where you bounce a ball and pick them up, kind of look like that, strewn about. But basically, they're just supposed to mess up your treads and stop tanks from approaching places they don't want them. I come through here and see a teammate upside down. I don't know how this happened. Possibly a bomb or something, but it's very difficult to get a tank right side up against. I ignore him and move on. I'm sorry, teammate. Checking my corners here. I don't want to just move out into someplace and then get shot from the side. It's going to be no bueno. I come here, I see this Crusader right here. He's got his entire side to me. First shot takes out the turret ring, his track, and everyone in the turret. So his gun's effectively out right now. Aim towards the front of the tank to finish off the front gunner and the driver. That's all of his crew dead. That's kill number 2. It's kind of tucking back. After having that happen, I want to just make sure that no one's around. I see the smoke in front of me. I don't know who popped it. And I want to make sure there's not someone waiting for me in ambush. I shoot some artillery down here on the corner of the map. Right here is a ramp where the enemy will come from their spawn up this way and then in. I know this, so I assume they're coming up that way. I turn the corner over here and there's a Panzer IV just kind of looking. I notice that his barrel's turned away from me, so he doesn't notice I'm here. And I just don't think he did until that hit. That hit killed everyone in his turret. The gun's knocked out. He can't really do much. I'm going to aim for the driver's port here. Just send the shot through and kill the rest of the tank. That's kill number 3. See, my team's doing pretty good here. I actually thought maybe this was going to be a quick one. These types of matches usually aren't. So I see that we've got someone capping. They've capped a quarter of it so far. I believe they get to about half before they're taken out. But that is enough for me to kind of want to push out. Got the wife down there with me. Checking, making sure that no one's going to come from behind or someplace I don't know. You can see some large bomber does a carpet bombing run. I don't think he hit anything at all with those bombs. But it looked cool. We come up here and I see an M22 Locust sitting on one of the walls of the fort. I'm sitting here hoping I could get a shot on him. And then I see him start taking off down that wall. So I'm getting ready to line up a shot for him on the move. He spikes the brakes, stops, and gives me a perfect shot on the side. So the Locust goes down, kill number 4. At this point, I'm really thinking I don't see a lot of enemy tanks flashing on the map, meaning that they're being attacked. So I don't know where they're at. This bridge here will lead to their spawn effectively. So I'm assuming that if I push up this way, I will see some enemy tanks to shoot. This bridge is great for scouting. You can effectively stay under the cover of the edges of the bridge, the walls, and pop your commander out to scout. And you can see, I mean, they spawn right back in here, which you'll see momentarily. So coming around this corner is always dangerous. If someone's spawning and coming down this way, their cannon's going to be staring straight at me as I come out of this little turn. So I slow down. I kind of want to look around, make sure that nothing gets an easy shot off at me if I can help it. Come down here. I don't really want to go into their spawn, which is out this way. It's kind of considered not a great move, not nice, poor sportsmanship. I see the tank around there. I'm not sure if he saw me, which it doesn't look like he did. Finally notices me. It's too late. Punch right through his turret, kill everyone, and that's kill number 5. So again, we are on. We're almost on top of one of their spawns now. I come around to the side just to see if anyone's going to camp. I see this tank destroyer here. First shot takes out his gun, so he can't really do anything. He's sitting there just looking at me. I'm waiting for the reload, and as I'm reloading, he moves his tank to get back behind cover. The angle of the shot was poor due to that, and it deflects. I shot artillery at him. I called an artillery strike on his position in the hopes that it damages him or keeps him under cover for a longer period of time. So effectively, I mean, he can't do anything right now. He's got to repair his gun before he does anything. So he's out of the fight temporarily. At this point, I'm listening for the sounds. I hear the sounds. I think those are the aircraft that I end up hearing, but I can hear engine sounds, so I'm looking to find out where those are coming from. Still also looking for that tank destroyer to come back out. If he does, since again, most tank destroyers don't have turrets, they will have to come out sideways, then turn their tank. And when they come out sideways is a great opportunity to shoot them. The side armor of a tank is always weaker than the front armor. In most cases, I should say, is weaker than the front armor. And that's to save weight. Most of the time you don't you don't want to be getting hit anywhere from the front, so you kind of want to line up your tank's front facing the enemy, but not completely square. You want to kind of be off to an angle. This gives a larger angles on the armor plating, effectively increasing their thickness and effectiveness. So it takes a larger round. So you could have 80 millimeters of frontal armor, but with the slope and angling, it could potentially go to 160 to 200 meters, depending on the tank and the type of armor it is. Meaning you need a much bigger gun than you would need if you were shooting at an 80 millimeter thick plate straight on. The T-34s in this game are pretty good for that. They have, you can see a lot of the angles on the hull here, angles on the turret. So they do have the chance to bounce some shots. I see the Stug come back out. What I don't see while I'm zoomed in here is that there's a tank immediately on my left, and I do mean immediately, which you'll see in the replay. He was very much right next to me as I was laser focused on that tank destroyer. I didn't notice, and he got the kill. So that's my first tank death, 5 kills. That's not too bad. So I'm going to spawn in an IL-2 here, Sturmovik. I've got 4 bombs, 4 rockets. This is a bit of an embarrassing run for me here. I don't really do well in the Sturmovik. I'm fairly new to bombing. I've been playing air realistic battles for a long time, but bombing ground targets is something that's fairly new to me, so I'm still learning the ins and outs of that and failing a lot. You'll get to see a very spectacular fail here as I come in. Now, the way air spawns work in this mode is everything's based on spawn points. The more bombs or rockets, basically the more offensive weaponry you have against ground, the more expensive it is to spawn in an aircraft. So I took a lot of my spawn points to spawn this in. And basically that's how it works with all the aircraft. The more they have to take out tanks, the more they cost to take out. And losing them can pretty much hamper your day. Got a AAA shooting at me here. So I'm just going to roll back out, try to get some distance on him so his shots aren't accurate. He's done a little bit of damage, nothing major yet. Couple hits, no real crits particularly. So I'm just climbing here, and then I'm going to turn back around, not going very fast. The bomb bay doors are open. You can see the 4 bombs here. Each have their own individual bomb slot, bomb bay, and 4 rockets, 2 on each wing. I roll to the left as that SPAA starts opening fire on me, as does this M3A1. In an effort to kind of jink out of the way, I get just a bit too low, try to force those ground rockets, and smack the prop. So the engine dies, the prop is bent to shit, and I'm a very heavy glider right now. Splat. So that was a waste of a aircraft, and not my finest moment. So Icarus melts his wings off and decides to get back in a ground vehicle. This time I take out my KV-1. It's a bit slower, but I kind of held this one off knowing that enemy vehicles at this point would probably be thin. They're not going to have their main tanks. They're not going to have their main battle tanks. They're going to have these lighter tanks left. So see this M3A1 coming in. He finally notices me. He takes a shot. It does absolutely nothing. My next shot completely destroys everything. Turrets, everyone in the turret's dead. Engine's on fire, and this next shot right here finishes them off. That's kill number 6. We've got the wife back in front of me here, so we've linked back up. She's in a T-50, another light scout tank. She really likes to do the scouting stuff. She doesn't think she's that great at shooting yet, so she's still learning that and scouting to get some points and get some assists, and it really helps me out as well, so I like it. Coming up around this corner, so this time instead of going through the fort, we go around the edge. I see this dead tank, not sure if it's dead, so I take a shot. If it would have been alive, I would have gotten a hit marker and known that it was alive, but it just hits nothing. I get no response, no markers, so I know it's dead. And upon closer inspection, you can see that it's just a burnt out hull of a tank. It's already been on fire. So coming around this corner, Meg makes the unfortunate mistake of popping out just a little too far, and there's a AAA that takes some shots at her. I go out to help, but by the time I go out to help, he's backed behind a rock. So I'm looking for him. She's telling me he's behind the rock to the left, which I look, and I can just see his front tire sticking out by that rock. I'm gonna take a shot, hoping that it will disable his vehicle. Hits the tire, takes it out, but he's still able to pull it back just a little further and get behind that. Meg takes another shot over the top. That's not going to hit. I think this guy sees Meg pull out, takes a shot at me, bounces that, and a side shot takes everyone in the crew out. And that's kill number 7. Push through again. Meg's learned her lesson. This time she goes for a little bit of rock cover before she pushes too far out. Sees me push in and decides, well, he must know what he's doing. So she comes out. There's another guy behind me. I'm thinking we've got a solid chance here to possibly cap. See the Puma that we killed earlier that didn't notice I was there. And I wish I would have looked again to my left, because right around this time another tank spawned and is going to pop out and shoot us from behind, I believe. So we come around this corner. 3 of us. Again, I'm just ducking from cover to cover, trying to use this rubble to block any potential shots before I can see where they come from. I hear that shot, something deflected somewhere. Turn around, I take a shot from the right. Meg takes a shot. Try to help her out. Hits the upper glacis, does nothing. Someone shoots me from the right and hits my turret ring. So now my turret is locked. My gunner and commander are dead as well. And I can't really do much. Getting hit from all these points, it's going to take me some time to repair that stuff. And that time I have to sit completely still and won't be able to do anything until the turret ring's repaired. My thought process is there's tanks all over. They're already shooting at me. If I try to do that now, I'm as good as dead. So I'll continue to push forward even with all these vehicles up here. And my thought process is I'm going to push their spawn. I know this isn't going to win at all. And I'm going to take many, many shots. As you can see, they're just coming from every angle. I've got holes in the turret. 2 here, 1 in the back, 2 in the back now. Probably even more on the right side. But my thought is, if I could push their base and get there before they could take me out, they're all going to have to displace themselves to chase me to make sure I don't start capping. This gives an opportunity for our team to push up unhindered, hopefully, and get back into position so that we can do this again. As you can see on the left and right, our team's got 6 tanks left and an aircraft, and their team has 3 tanks left and an aircraft. So at this point, I don't really want to push things too hard. This tank's done, so I'm just kind of doing what I can with it. The M3 finally gets behind me, hits the engine, stops the tank, and then the next shot goes right through the small armored turret ring and kills the last of my crew. So that's the end of that tank, which I was expecting. Knew that was going to happen. Just hoped that it was moving that far forward and displacing a couple tanks was worth it. At this point, we're at 7 kills, 1 assist, and I've died 3 times, 2 in tanks and 1 in the aircraft. So now we're in our Valentine, which I just bought. This tank's really fun to play. It was on sale for Valentine's Day, so we all bought it. Meg's in it as well. Now this one, I believe, is 2.3 or 2.7. As we're in a 3.7 battle, it's a bit under-tiered. The gun is decent, though, so it doesn't have problems punching through up-tiered armor to a point. What it does lack is sufficient armor to deflect up-tiered shots. So my hope here is that there's only light tanks left at this point. No one's got a whole lot of spawn points, if any. I'm hoping that I'm only going to be fighting anti-aircraft and, you know, small light tanks, maybe a medium tank or 2, maybe a tank destroyer. Which, looking at the right-hand side of the screen, they've only got a light and a medium tank along with their Airacobra. So Meg gets into a fight here with this Panzer III. I'm just trying to get the shot on, and she gets taken out, which fuels my rage on this guy. Take a shot there, goes right through the turret. That kills all the potential of him shooting me back, sets him on fire. Next shot to the other side, same spot, and that finishes off the rest of his crew. Kill number 8. At this point, the wife is, I believe, out of tanks now as well. So she's just watching. I see this Panzer IV up here shooting at the BTR. He takes a shot at me, goes over top. I kill his gunner commander, get a fuel tank and the engine. And the next shot punches right through and kills the rest to kill number 9. So at this point, there's myself, this BTR in front of me, and then there's another tank in the fight right at the entrance to the fort of their spawn. So he's getting in a fight. I see this Stug come up. First hit kills, I believe that's the gunner. Gunner or loader. I'm not sure who's on the right hand side there. Next shot doesn't really do anything. I'm trying to take out his track here. If I can take out his track, he won't be able to turn, and since that vehicle doesn't have a turret, it effectively puts him in a very bad point. I think he realized that's what I was trying to do, and he backed his track up far enough that I couldn't see. Come here again, he takes another shot, it does nothing. My next shot punches through, hits his tread and a fuel tank, and sets the fuel tank on fire. So he needs now cooking up. I'll come in. That snapshot was kind of pointless. He kills the teammate next to me, which is unfortunate, but I finally get him. Kill number 10. So at this point, we're right back in the same spot that we were with the KV-1, where I was on that march forward, not knowing where I was going to be shot from. Same thing happens. Spawn from behind. He comes out this way. Gets my engine. So, can't do a lot. I'm thinking at this point, I was really hesitant to turn the turret. The left side of the turret, or the right side of the turret, has less armor than the front of it does, so turning it like that gave him an opportunity to possibly punch through and do significant damage. As it stands, he's already wounded the crew in the turret, which is bad. Takes another shot. I finally get everything lined up, goes right through his breach, kills everyone in the back, and that's the end of that tank. So now I'm sitting here starting to repair, but the repairs are low. I see this Crusader 3. He sees that I'm wounded, and he comes in to help, so he starts popping smoke grenades. Couple out, and he gets near enough to me to start helping me repair, which is really nice. At this point, you can see all the holes in the side of my turret that I took. 3 holes back here, 5, 6 holes there. Crew's okay, engine's working again, Crusader's back up. I got my 11th kill. And at this point, the game's effectively over. I think the timer runs out with these last couple hits. The game ends. We win for a total of 11 kills, 1 assist, 3 deaths. Took first place on the team. Meg didn't do too bad, even though she didn't get a lot of kills. She did get an assist. She got a lot of points for scouting as well, which was really nice. Well, thanks for watching again, guys. Enjoy your day, and I'm sure I'll see you sometime. Thank you.